So we all heard Stephen A. Smith when he came for Will Smith after Will Smith Badboys 4 movie did over $100 million his first week in the box office. And Stephen A. Smith was very jealous. He said he couldn't bring himself to go see the movie because he just couldn't get over the slap. He couldn't get over the embarrassment. And he went into a whole diatribe about Will Packer was directing the Oscars at the time, and he not only embarrassed Will, he embarrassed the whole black community, and he did all this, and he owed the black community an apology. Well, it's now since backfired on him because his own supporters and the black community as a whole, came after him, was saying, you don't owe the black community, Will doesn't owe the black community anything. They don't owe, listen, he doesn't have to apologize. He apologized already. Why are you using your platform to try to bring Will down in front of the W people? So now, Tasha K, she took to social media because a lot of athletes, entertainers, everybody was on him to the point where he tried to go back and backtrack his hating as usual, what he usually does. But Tasha K has come after him, and she came after him, lit him up, called him the C word, called him everything, and was really unpacking the things that he was saying and went in on him and lit him up. Let's check out the first half of what Tasha K had to say about this, and then we'll come right back.
That is his business as well, too. And so, Stephen, go.
When we use the word forgivable or forgiveness, that's for Chris Rock to deal with. It's his call. He could have had the man arrested that night and insisted.
That should have been the end of the video. Am I lying, Jasmine? It should have been cut, rewinded from the beginning. He mad about Will Smith out here still being able to make a check, right? Being able to make a check while he's having to migrate to YouTube because the pay is getting lower. That's why him, Shannon Shaw, all of them are coming over to YouTube where they once talked about us and said that we were just YouTubers, we were nobody, and now they're all YouTubers. Welcome to YouTube, okay? Now, he mad because Will Smith out here still getting a check, regardless of getting an ass, okay? And so when he said this here, go ahead.
When we use the word forgivable or forgiveness, that's for Chris Rock to deal with. It's his call.
So why do we need to talk about this more? It's between him and Chris Rock. But we're going to let the coon do what he do. Go.
He could have had the man arrested that night and insisted to the LAPD that not be the case.
But he did.
Could have pressed charges thereafter and insisted on not doing that to Will Smith. Not making the incident.
I want to press charges on who messed up his hairline like that because it's slanted. Let's go.
Any bigger than what it was. Yes, he came out with his own flip for next fix, got about $20 million for it. After tax, he probably walked home with about $6.
Pause. That sounds like a hater. When you start counting people's pockets, that sounds like a hater because you're not getting that on YouTube. Let's go.
But Chris Rock is damaged.
What?
In the day and age of mental illness or traumatic incidences that affects one's mind and psyche and what have you, yeah, you might see him at Knicks games. Yeah, you might see him still going about the business of performing on tour or doing his job or handling his business. Chris Rock will never get over that.
What?
Ever. Will Smith apologized.
Keep it going, Jasmine.
And something like that happens and it was a blemish.
I like it when, let me just say this. Because he made sure that was a monologue and he wrote that. He made sure that he spoke on, this is Chris Rock's business. However, he will never get over that. How do you know he will never get over that? Because he went and did, a whole Netflix comedy special, went on tour. He is making his money. He ain't around here crying over no bitch slap. He's not doing that. He stood on business. He's still getting his check. Now, for you to go out here and thought you was going to interrupt Will Smith's check, trying to coon, Because they didn't put you as part of the press run. That's what this really is about, okay? Normally when they do like Bad Boys and they do movies and stuff, they go and they sit on these different platforms, whether it's sports or whatever, and they talk about their movie for 5 minutes. They didn't pay him to do that. So he was not a part of the PR run for Bad Boys. So he missed out on that money, and that's why he is counting Will Smith's money so much, okay? But when he had to double back, I hate when they coon and then they got to double back. Because this video is him trying to double back and justify him trying to tell us what's in Chris Rock's head. Chris Rock don't even know in his head. He just found out he had Asperger's, so he don't even know what is in his head. Let's go.
And something like that happens, and it was a blemish on all of us. Because I know how much white America reveres Will Smith.
Now, what we're not finna do, how did this go from Chris Rock's mental health to now how white America views us? I had to write this before I forget it. I'll tell you in a minute. Keep going.
Reveres Will Smith. And the thinking along the lines in my mind was, hell, if he did that, what would the rest of us do?
Whoa, wait a minute. I've been drinking all night, so I don't want to forget my thoughts. Give me just a second here. Rewind that back just a little bit, Jasmine. See how my thought just got interrupted? Just a little bit about the white America. Give me the white America one more time. Give me that sound bite. Let's go.
White America reveres Will Smith. And the thinking along the lines in my mind was, hell, if he did that, what would the rest of us do? There are certain things that happen in the lives of an individual where those incidences are used as a license to castigate the rest of us. And that's what I was thinking about when I said what I said Friday about being torn as to wanting to go see the movie but not wanting to see Will Smith. I wasn't encouraging anybody else not to do it. I was just saying that I was having trouble dealing with it.
The crazy part is, it's like he's just doing anything to stay relevant now. So now he comes on and says that Chris Rock is dealing with mental health issues and he's never going to get over this, right? And we saw D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley really came after him. We saw D.L. Hughley come after him in dealing with the Trump situation when he said that the black community and black men can relate to Trump. And D.L. Hughley tore his behind up. Now D.L. Hughley has come after him in regards to the Will Smith situation and saying, why are you even speaking on Will? Like, why you always gotta speak on black people and use your platform to put black people down in front of the world? Well, it's none of your business. Why do you have to talk about this? Why do you have to talk about his money? Why do you have to do all these things? So he's being called out by so many different people. You know what I mean? You know, and like I said, he sees that his situation at ESPN is starting to dwindle. So now he's trying to start a YouTube career. Just last year, he was talking trash about YouTubers. Now he's on YouTube running his mouth. But let's listen to the other half of what Tasha K had to say, and we'll come right back.
Let's start this again one more time. That apology video.
And something like that happens, and it was a blemish on all of us. Because I know how much white America reveres Will Smith. And the thinking along the lines in my mind was, hell, if he did that, what would the rest of us do?
Pause. If he did that, what would the rest of us do? So you just gonna group the entire black community in one hand, like that hair is gathered on your head in one spot, not all over, all because you're afraid of what the white women may think that you're screwing, or the white bosses that are paying your salary. It went from Chris Rock's mental health to now he's embarrassing the community. Obviously not, because he just made white America over $100 million in 2 days. How much did you make, Steven? In the last 2 days? Keep it going. Keep it going.
There are certain things that happen in the lives of an individual where those incidences are used as a license to castigate the rest of us.
Pause.
And that's what I...
Pause. Yeah. So, we're going to hold that thought till we're done. Keep going.
And that's what I was thinking about when I said what I said Friday about being torn as to wanting to go see the movie but not wanting to see Will Smith. I wasn't encouraging anybody else not to do it. I was just saying that I was having trouble dealing with it.
He act like he been slapped. You know who he reminds me of? Back in the day when we used to watch Roots, right? Because we don't know what slavery was like. We don't know, okay? I don't even think I would. I would have been the one that he's telling on. Hey, we finna buck this bitch tonight. We finna go. If you coming tonight. No asking no questions. He in the back. How will master view me if you niggas is running? How am I gonna look? He in the house. He around here telling on everybody. He hold grudges for 30 years. You remember the last nigga that went running? I told him, they found him. He hanging right now. I'ma hang y'all because you ain't finna make us look bad to these white folk, to master them, to these crackers. We not finna do it. That's what he giving me. The fact that he's even trying to save his hair in efforts of saving his relationship with white America, because black men, like the cut, the lineup, it's the first of all, you got to take the clippers, right? If somebody is like, imagine my whole top just sliced off, gone. That's what his barber got to do with, you know? And I saw he came back and doubled back. I just hate a coon that can't stand on coon business. Don't try to throw us in there. Don't try to project your feelings onto us like this made us all look bad. No, it didn't. The only person that made look bad was Will and Chris. You ain't having no hard time dealing with this at all. You didn't get slapped. And if, like I said, if white America had a problem with it, they would have told Will to sit down. But Will is a moneymaker. He's the type of moneymaker that gets you put out of master's house. That's why you had to come out here and apologize, thinking that we was going to help you to save you, and you don't even want to help save your hair.
So I'll say this in closing. Stephen A. Smith, you don't speak for the black community. You speak for yourself. You came on a show about 2 years ago and said every night and every morning you wake up to figure out how much money you can make for your bosses. You talked about how black folks act, and it makes us all look bad in front of those W folks. That's all you care about. You don't. I remember what you said about Lamar Odom in the crack situation on TV. To me, it's like you go out of your way. I mean, and what you did to Kyrie Irving with those small hats. You go out of your way to defend other groups. And you know what I'm talking about, other groups, but you have no problem arguing, putting down, using your platform to destroy another black man. You will go out of your way, but you go out of your way to defend the other groups on TV before the world. Your bosses, that other group that nobody can talk about, what you did with Kyrie. See, you destroyed Kyrie. You didn't care nothing about the black community or about black men or about the opinions of other black men. You defended that other community, right or wrong, weak or strong. You don't never condemn them for the things that they do. Never condemn them for the stuff that they produce. You don't talk about none of that stuff. You, Charles Barkley, Shaq, none of y'all. You never call them out. You have no problem. If you have a disagreement with a black man, you will use your platform to go before the world to destroy him. You won't shut your mouth and deal with it behind the scenes. You won't. You show time after time after time after time going after black men on your platform. But them other groups, you won't do it. When you disrespected that W woman, they suspended you. And you came back and you ain't never been the same. And everybody sees it and we're tired of it. This is the problem. We're tired of it. When you disrespected Kyrie, Kenny Smith had to call you. Like, yo, what you doing? He from the neighborhood, bro. What you doing, man? Then you got into it with his father. So you just disrespected all these black men in front of all these other men from around the world. How does that make us look, Stephen? How does that make us look, Stephen, based off of your analogy? How does other men of other ethnic groups view us when you on TV carrying on like that about other black men before the world, Stephen? I mean, you know, but I'm going to cut this video short here, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think, man. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.